Right then kids, Mr. Glenn here. We will continue with our searching and going beyond just the front page of Google. So we've looked around and we've got a very basic search. Microchips. Now we know that in my microchips, if I can just pull out my page here, whoops, there's my son. We looked at what do transistors, what do they do? Transistors, what are they, what do they do? So if transistors we know are switches, because that's what we found in our basic search, and we didn't really read any further into that page because we want to go and find it for ourselves. That was somebody's opinion in that page. We want to go and get something that has a high level of accuracy. That's what we're really looking for. We want something that is truthful and true, and it is a reliable source. So transistors, let's go and see if we can just do a quick search, get him out of there, go away. So microchips and transistors, shall we put? Let's go and see and go beyond this first page search. Transistor. The difference between a microchip and a transistor. So let's go and see what that says. You can see that the offerings there are pretty good. A chip is made out of transistors and other components. A transistor is a single switch, which is what was in the other page. So now we have a backup reference here to what was said by that person. Fine. However, let's just go and see what else we've got down here. This is called an integrated circuit, or a monolithic integrated circuit. Is a set of electronic circuits in one small flat piece or chip. Now that makes it a little bit more believable, because I know that this at the top isn't always what we want. We don't always want a chip is made out of transistors. We don't want to know what Google is giving us. Just because it is the most popular, it isn't always the most reliable. I do know that Wikipedia is checked within a certain degree. So I'm going to go to Wikipedia as my sort of base level. Remember, we're still on a base level here. We're not doing anything extra to our search except the words that we are finding. So we're just doing a very simple search here, and we're just going further with our words. So our keywords here now are integrated circuits. Silicon chip redirects here. You can see at the very top, if I just bring that in nice and slowly, silicon chip redirects here, so it comes to the integrated circuit. For the electronics magazine, see silicon chip. So there is silicon chip, a magazine, that's silicon chip. Microchip redirects here too. So silicon chip and microchip both come back to an integrated circuit. This is more technical and therefore more usable. So in my pages now, in my in what I found out page, which we've given to you already, you can go and get the integrated circuit title for your next part of understanding what microchips are. Also, there is a good reference here as to what they actually are and what they actually do. An integrated circuit or monolithic integrated circuit, also referred to as an IC, a chip, or a microchip. There we go. I don't need to read any more for you. However, as I look down further, there is something that is even more interesting and will also back up for whatever it is that we're making. Our presentation or our film relies on us understanding where these ideas have come from. Where have the computers come from? Where have these chips come from? So I'm constantly asking this: who, why, what, where, and how. Integrated circuits were made practical technology advancements in metal oxide, silicon, semiconductor device fabrication since their origins in the 1960s. So this makes me ask the question: what was the first microchip? What is the history of the microchip? So as I go further now, I'm going to go what. In fact, I don't want to ask Google any questions. I've got to stop myself from doing this. Microchip history timeline. Timeline of microchips. This seems more like it. I now have the Computer History Museum down here, and now I'm going into the history of the microchip on Time Toast. So I'm going to go and check this out. However, what we're going to do next is start to use Google's parameters, and this means we're going to start understanding what we do when we put words between speech marks and when we can take things away. So there are words that we don't want, and there are words that we want to add, which are from our keyword searches. So taking our search further by finding words and understanding the technical part of it means that I am taking things a lot deeper, such as this. I am now starting to understand where things are come from, who these people are, who is inside this actual search, who is involved, where are these things come from. And I've also got a timeline with further people and further events in history that tell me where my subject was born and where it's been and where it's going to. This is now giving you a much, much deeper search than previously on the first page of Google. Right, your turn. Good luck.